Hey, what's up you guys? It's me, True Brilliance, back with a video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Mars, okay? We're going to be talking about that masculine energy and how it expresses itself in the natal chart. Now, your Mars placement is very important. A lot of the times it's often overlooked by astrologers or just by the average person when looking at your natal chart. But our Mars energy, it talks about how we express our masculinity, and it talks about how we go after our desires, how we go after achieving what it is that we want. So Mars actually plays a major role in manifesting. You know how when they say you put it out into the universe what it is that you want, right? So that's mainly like Venus. Venus is our desires as well. Venus is what we want, what we are attracted to, okay? So obviously what we are attracted to is what we want to experience in our reality. So Venus is kind of like a wish that we make. It's like a wish, us wishing upon a star. Like, I would like to experience this reality. I would like to experience this lover. I would like to experience this person, right? And then Mars is the actions and the steps that you take in order to achieve that, because you know how they always say you ask for something and then you have to take action. Okay, so Mars is the actual taking action. Okay, you just can't wish for stuff or want stuff but don't take action in your reality in order to get it. So taking action and the desire of wanting to obtain something work hand in hand. So Venus is wanting to obtain something and wanting to have something, because remember, Venus is I have, right? And Mars is how you go about getting what it is that you will eventually have, okay? So you have to take action in order to achieve your desires. So that is what we're going to talk about, getting into the Mars placements. Now, some people are really at a huge advantage when it comes to their Mars placements. In my opinion, the best Mars placements are Mars in Capricorn, Mars in Aries, Mars in Scorpio, and Mars in Leo. To me, those are the four most powerful Mars placements, okay? Now, the weakest Mars placements are Mars in Cancer, which I have, Mars in Cancer, Mars in Taurus, Mars in Libra, and Mars in Pisces, okay? I would say would be like the weakest Mars placements, okay? The weak Mars placements are strong in other areas, and I will talk about that when we get into the Mars series. So let's talk about rulership of Mars. Mars naturally rules Aries and Scorpio, okay? So Aries is external Mars and Scorpio is internal Mars, okay? So this is why they say Scorpio is intense, okay? So because it's an inner tension, okay? That's Mars. Okay, the inner buildup, the fire building up inside of yourself. It's passion. That's what Mars and Scorpio is. Okay, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Okay, so Mars does very well in Capricorn. I think Mars in Capricorn is almost the strongest Mars placement. I've seen Mars in Capricorn in action, and it's very powerful. And Mars falls in, oh, it's in detriment in Libra, and it falls in Cancer, okay? And that's because Cancer is the opposite of its exaltation, and Libra is the opposite of its home, which is in Aries, okay? Taurus as well, because it naturally rules Scorpio as well, okay? So we're going to get into Mars through all of the signs for you guys to understand your Mars placement better and how your Mars energy expresses itself. One thing that you need to learn about your Mars is do not fight against your Mars, okay? That's not going to get you anywhere in life, fighting against your Mars. If anybody knows this, it's me with my Mars in Cancer. You have to learn how to go with the flow of your Mars placement, and you just gotta kind of accept your losses. If you have a weak Mars placement, you have to accept your losses and learn how to work within the energy of that sign, okay, if you want to get anything done at all. Mars also rules your energy levels, okay? So this is another thing that a lot of people don't know, is that Mars rules your energy levels, okay? So people that like have Mars in Cancer or Mars in Taurus, they have very low energy levels, okay? So they may need to exercise more or just do things to become more active because they can have low vitality. So when your Mars is in like a feminine sign, you can have low vitality. You don't have that much energy. People that have like Mars and fire signs, you'll notice that they're very energetic. They have a lot of energy to burn. Sometimes it's hard for them to sit still. Okay, Mars also rules our sexuality. People don't talk about this, but Mars rules how we express our sexuality, okay? Because if you think about it, the sexual act is something that is very Mars-like in nature because you're exerting your energy, right? That's why people sweat. That's why people are hot. That's why people are out of breath. That's why it feels like, you know, afterwards, like you just got done running miles, okay, at the park. You're tired, right? You're tired after it. So that's why literally Mars rules sex, and a lot of people don't know about that, okay? But Mars rules how we like doing that, and it also rules what we are attracted to when doing that, and what turns us on, what gets our fire going, because Mars is our inner fire. So it's our fire and desire. Y'all know what I mean? So this is what gets our engines going, okay? We are going to be talking about that as well when discussing the Mars placements. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about Mars in Virgo, okay? So Mars in Virgo is a placement that I feel can go either way, honestly. It can really benefit you, but then it can have its downfalls as well, just for the simple fact that Virgo is so detail oriented. And to be all the way honest, Mars is not an energy or a planet that is into the details of things. Mars is about getting straight to it, getting straight to the point. It's very straightforward, it's very direct, it's very blunt. Okay, so when it's in Virgo, it has to worry about the small details of things. It has to fact check. It has to make sure that it has all the details correct, which can be a little bit irritating for Mars. I'm just going to be honest. Mars can get irritated in Virgo because it's not able to work as fast as it wants to work, because again, it has to fact check. It has to look into the details of things, which is actually good in the long run for getting things done, because it's like you don't want to do things sloppy. You don't want to do things and leave certain details behind, because basically you're going to have to end up paying for it later with Saturn, right? Because Saturn is the big boss that comes and looks over things and makes sure that everything is correct. So Mars in Virgo can actually work really well with the planet Saturn. I always look at Virgo as like being the assistant to Capricorn, since Virgo is mutable Earth and Capricorn is cardinal Earth. I look at Virgo as being like an assistant to Capricorn. So checking over everything, checking over all the details, making sure everything is straight before sending it over for approval. That's how I look at it. One thing about Mars and Virgo is that you know when you're working with them, you know that their stuff is going to be correct, okay? Mars and Virgo is not going to come to you with some faulty stuff. They're not going to come to you with some half-assed stuff. You know, because Virgo deals with perfection and making sure that everything is correct in its rightful place. So I think Mars can work very effectively in Virgo in just making sure that things are right. So I think Mars and Virgo people make very good employees. They make very good workers. You know, and they can make very good bosses as well, just because of the simple fact that they are very tuned into the earth element and making sure that everything is correct. So a lot of people would love to hire Mars and Virgo people, because you know that your stuff is going to be on solid ground and it's not going to have many errors in it, because Mars and Virgo make sure that they do that. Now, one thing about Mars in Virgo is that you guys can be very critical of other people. So if certain things are not right, if certain things are not correct, you guys can get on people about their errors and things that are not right because you guys see the small details of things. So you guys can nitpick at people, and you guys can, kind of make people feel bad about the things that they're not doing correct, okay? So Mars in Virgo kind of doesn't play when it comes to sloppiness, okay? Mars in Virgo does not like sloppiness. They don't like people that are messy. That's one thing that you guys do not like, unless you have other things in your chart that indicate that you may be messy or lazy. But if you don't, you're definitely going to be somebody that likes to keep things neat and clean, and you put a lot of energy into keeping your life in order. Mars in Virgo usually isn't going to like disorder. They're usually not going to like chaos in their life, and they're going to work very diligently to make sure that everything is put in its proper place. And they're also going to do that within your life as well. Okay, so, some people may get a little bit irritated with this because they don't want to be reminded of their flaws all the time or what it is that they're doing wrong. But, in the spirit of Virgo, let them tell it. They're just trying to help you, okay? So take it how you want to take it. Mars in Virgo can also put a lot of energy into their health, so they can be very health conscious. They can be people that, exercise a lot, want to keep their bodies a certain way, because Virgo is all about the health of the body, detoxification, eating the right foods, working out, making sure the body is healthy. It has everything to deal with the health. So Mars and Virgo people may be really into health stuff. And, just make sure they're keeping their bodies right and their energy levels right, and doing, the correct things for their health. So that may be something that they put a lot of energy into. But Mars in Virgo is definitely very meticulous. So it's like they don't miss anything. You can't get anything past a Mars in Virgo because they're going to clock every single detail that's going on around them. Okay, so this is not someone that you want to lie to. This is not somebody that you want to front with, because, they're not afraid to call out the flaws that they see in their reality. Now, when it comes to sexuality, Mars in Virgo can actually be really picky when it comes to sexuality, because Virgos are known for being very picky. And since Mars rules our sexuality, Mars and Virgos can be very picky in the bedroom. Now, they definitely like cleanliness when it comes to the bedroom and the sexual act. Cleanliness, okay? They are not going to be doing the deed with somebody that is not clean, somebody that has not showered, somebody that does not smell good, and somebody that doesn't have good upkeep on their body. That's really going to turn Mars and Virgo off. So they can be very picky about the people that they actually do the deed with, because they just don't like nasty people. They don't like nasty energy. They're really attracted to people that take care of themselves. And a Mars in Virgo person is very understated in their energy, because Virgo is a very understated energy. So this is not going to be somebody that's just going to come out and tell you, well, they might. It really depends on where their Mercury is and stuff like that. They may come out and tell you exactly, and where their Venus is. But they may be very understated when it comes to their sexuality. But then when you actually get into the act with them, you may be very surprised by what it is that they're giving. It's like Mars in Virgo is the virgin, but don't believe the hype, okay? They just appear that way, but once you really get into a relationship with them, or you really get to know them, you really start to realize that that whole virgin stuff is a lie, it's a myth, okay? Because a lot of Virgos can be very freaky, okay? They can, but they can be, I look at Virgos as being like undercover freaks, like the ones that you would never expect. It's like the librarian or the schoolgirl with the glasses on, like looking all like innocent or looking all nerdy, and then when you get behind closed doors, it's like a wild beast. Like you just don't know what to expect, okay? So it's like, don't judge a book by its cover when it comes to Mars and Virgo. Another thing is, when it comes to things that deal with sexuality, they really pay a lot of attention to detail. Some people that may care a lot about the mood of the room, like the details, like does it smell good? Are the sheets clean? You know, am I wearing the right thing? Like they care about the small details really matter when it comes to sexuality with Mars and Virgo. So they want to make sure everything is in its perfect place. And yeah, you know, they got to make sure that everything is, that they're coming correct, okay? They're going to come correct. So these are people that can be very picky when it comes to sexual act. It's like if they haven't showered, they're not going to want to do anything with you. Like, oh no, ew, I haven't showered. I just came from the gym. No, like, ew, that's nasty. I can see a Mars and Virgo doing that, whereas like a Mars and Scorpio person ain't going to give a damn. You sweaty, you nasty from the gym. That's even better for them because they like it dirty. But we'll get to Mars and Scorpio later. But Mars and Scorpio may actually be a Mars placement that Mars and Virgo is hooking up a lot with because they're very compatible. So yeah, it's like everything has to be right. Like they're not gonna want to do the deed in a dirty house or in the dirty kitchen. They're just like, hold on, let me clean up first. You know, that's how Virgos are. So as far as like their willpower and things like that, their willpower comes with the order. Their willpower comes with the order of things, of like keeping things in line and keeping things in order. So they like to keep their own life in order. They like to keep everything in its rightful place in their personal life. And that's how they exert their willpower. But they're definitely not a Mars sign that's going to be in your face. They're not a Mars sign that's going to be overly dramatic and with all this drama. Mars and Virgo people usually really don't like drama, but they will tell you about yourself. And Mars and Virgo is good for a good read, honey. A good read from A to Z. Mars and Virgo will give it to you because Mars and Virgo is very observant, okay? They observe everything down to the minute detail of things. So getting red for filth is definitely a Mars and Virgo thing, and they'll do it with class. But they're going to come with the facts, honey. They're going to come with the facts, and you're not going to be able to dispute what it is that they're saying because this is something that they've observed for a very long time and they know to be true. So you might as well just tuck your tail and just exit the conversation. It's plain and simple. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have to say about Mars and Virgo. Again, Mars placements really depend upon the rest of your chart. Your sun, your moon, your Venus, your Mercury all matter when it comes to Mars placements. The aspects to Mars really matter. The house placement really matters. So it's like take into account all of these things in regards to what it is that I'm saying. Please put below what house placement that your Mars is in and what your experience is. And I'll see you guys in the next video.